Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the This Is Gonna Hurt podcast with Jay Gordon Duncan. And if you're wondering why the J, the answer is I'm not a bagpipe player. And if that joke doesn't make any sense, I encourage you to check out episode 0, where I explain that joke, as well as the purpose of the This Is Gonna Hurt podcast, where we talk about faith, family, fitness, finances, and sometimes fun. Hello, friends, how are you? I hope you're doing well. This episode should post very close to the end of the year. It should post the 29th on Sunday for the Capitalize Your Best Facebook group, and on the 30th everywhere else. So we are very close to the end of 2024. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season, however you celebrated it. And last week we had fun. I shared two Christmas movies that you might have overlooked. One was an action movie, and one was a romantic comedy. And I hope you guys checked it out. I heard from a couple of you. There were some disagreements about the action movie being a Christmas movie, but it's just the way it goes. You know, people are passionate about this for some reason. I have debated this with my family over and over again. And, but either way, it was fun doing that. It's just a fun episode. And I was going back and I was looking at how I ended last year, and I was preparing for this episode, and I saw the way I ended last year, and I thought, well, let me end 2024 in a similar fashion. And what I did last year is I did what's in and what's out for 2024. It was my predictions, and I think I came pretty close. If nothing else, it was in and out for me. And I thought, well, let me do that again. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to do what's in and what's out for 2025. And I'm going to give you three things that I think are in and three things that I think are out. Now, these are very personal for me. I think they have relevance for most everybody, but these are things that I'm implementing. These are not resolutions or goals. I just think these are trends that are going to play itself out in the coming year. And it'll be interesting to hear what you guys think. I was pretty dead on, spot on last year. Go back and check that episode out if you get a chance. It was my end of year episode. But I'm excited about sharing this with you. I spent a little extra time preparing, maybe a little bit more time than I normally do, which I should be doing in one of my goals in 2025 is to prepare a little bit more for the podcast. But I've got three things that are in and three things that are out. And I debated, like, should I do the three things that are in and then do the three things that are out? But I think I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to do one that's in and then one that is out. And this covers a cross section of business, health, lots of things. It's not just focused on one thing. So here we go. I've got my Capitalize Your Best card here, and we're going to talk about what's in, and then I'm going to share what's out. Okay. So one thing that I think is in for 2025 is hyper focus. Hyper focus. Now, I think what this means is that for people to succeed in pretty much any area, whether it be business or personal relational, it's going to take a hyper focus in 2025. I think the nature of society, culture, business, and relationships and everything else is going to take a focus that removes distractions and that this is the thing that you're working on. And that might mean just just diving in and working just 8 straight hours on something. It might be removing distractions. But I think for all of us, if we want to succeed, whether it be in our business or relationally or anything else, I think we're going to have to hyper focus even greater than years before. And you might think, well, I have really focused. I don't know where I'm going to get another gear. But you know what? I feel like I am focused, but I look back last year and like 2024, and I found areas where I just wasted massive amounts of time. And I know that if I redeem that time, there's a lot that I can accomplish. So I think one thing that is in for 2025 is hyper focus. And focus is usually defined by what you say no to. I think I first heard that definition by Alex Hormozy in his podcast. But focus is really determined by what you say no to. So when you start saying no to things, that means you're open up to saying yes to things that get you closer to your goal. So hyper focus. One thing I think is out for 2025 is promoting divisiveness. Promoting divisiveness. Now, I think this goes across spectrum. No matter what, I know that our political landscape, whether you be left or right, is incredibly divisive. And I really think that I mean, there's always an industry built around that, right? You can build a business, an industry around that divisiveness. But I think that people are going to want to work with, promote, and interact with people who aren't promoting divisiveness. And so I think promoting divisiveness on social media is out. I think promoting divisiveness among relationships and gossiping is out. I mean, you might say, well, that's always been out, but I think there's going to be consequences for people who promote divisiveness. I really do. And so that means that we have the opportunity to move towards content and relationships and conversations that are not divisive, but are built more towards wholesomeness and unity. And so I think promoting divide. Listen, it worked for the campaign. It really did. Both sides were incredibly divisive. But I think coming up in the new year, I think promoting divisiveness is out. I really do. And so let's talk about something in. One, I think collaboration is in. Now, collaboration is always wonderful, but I'm talking about collaboration where both people succeed. Collaboration where both people succeed, both people put in their efforts and their time and their skills, and both people benefit. This collaboration is very significant for business. We can't do these things 100% on our own. We can't. And partnering with people who are like-minded, who have business goals, who want to achieve, I think that kind of collaboration is in. I think that's going to happen between organizations. I think it's going to happen among charities. I think it's going to be happening in lots of platforms. But I think collaboration among equal parties who are both trying to succeed, who both will both walk away with benefit. I think that kind of collaboration, when you can find it, is going to be incredibly helpful this year. I think that's in, but it requires partnering with people where you both benefit. I know a lot of times people want to collaborate and they might say it's a mutually beneficial relationship, but it's really not. It's really one person. And so I think mutually beneficial collaboration is in. Number two, for what is out, promotion without a promise. Promotion without a promise. You know, we're about 5, 6 years into this entrepreneurial, promotional social media world. And a lot of people who've been doing it are starting to fall away. And I think people are avoiding marketing that doesn't have a real, like, tangible promise. And I think if you just promote, I think it's becoming vapid and it's becoming unattractive. But if your promise is tangible and it's backed up with examples and testimony, I think that makes a difference. I really do. And so I think what's out is promotion without a promise. If you're just saying, we can do this, and I'm this, and I'm that, I just don't think it's going to resonate with people anymore. I think people are weary of that. I think promotion without a promise is just completely out. So the opposite of that means if you're going to promote something, you're going to have a promise. You're going to have to back it up. So number three, what is in? Holistic health. I think holistic health is in. I think you're going to see people. This is always the case at the beginning of the year, but I think it's going on a broader trend that people, and by holistic health, I mean people wanting to be healthy in every facet of their life and pursuing it in as much as possible natural means and by their own effort. Eating well, exercising, meditation, stretching, non-toxic relationships. I mean, I think holistic health, I think people are going to be more apt to say, that's just not healthy for me. I can't do it. But you can see people make other choices that are very holistically minded. And I think that is very much going to be in. I know that that's something that has always been passionate for me. I won't say always, the last 3 or 4 years has been passionate for me. I think I faded a little bit in the last quarter, maybe the third quarter of the year moving in. I can see areas where that became less important to me. And I haven't waited for the beginning of the year to renew that journey. That's been very much what I've been doing in this period between Christmas and New Year's, and pursuing those things I know they're healthy for me. So I think holistic health is in. And this third one that's out, I had a hard time figuring out how to say it. Lack of charitable involvement is out. Lack of charitable involvement. I think when people are not involved in good nonprofit and charitable work, I think it's going to be a detriment to them business wise. I'm not saying just serve for promotional sake. I'm not, but I think that people want to partner with people who have a desire to serve, and they see that service as an extension of what they do. And I think, if you don't have that, I think it's going to be a real detriment to businesses and how people are doing things. And so I would say that what's out is lack of charitable involvement. So that means always the opposite, right? What's in is charitable involvement. But I think companies and individuals who are not doing that, I think there's going to be a real suffering from it. I think it's going to be a necessary element of the building of a business and the building of a reputation. So those are my three ins and outs. Let me give them to you straight through. I think the ins are a hyper focus, just avoiding distractions, collaboration with partners who are equally giving and are mutually beneficial, and then holistic health, taking a bigger picture of your health in all areas and just saying no things that aren't holistic, that aren't feeding your body and your soul. Out, I think promoting divisiveness is out. I think promotion without a promise is out. And I think a lack of charitable involvement is out. Those things are just going to fall out of favor. They've fallen out of favor with me, and I think they're going to fall out of favor in lots of other arenas. So that's my what's in, what's out for 2025. Can't wait to revisit it to see how I did. And I would love to hear from you what you think is in and out for the new year. So if you get a chance, pop in here, let me know what you think. And as always, friends, I would really love it if you go to Spotify, Apple, and give me a review. I think those reviews would be helpful. I really like to grow the podcast. Thank you. We grew by 16% listenership this year. Really surprised by that. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you. But I'd really like to see greater growth and greater impact. And that's going to happen by you guys. So thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And as always, I can't wait to see you again next week. Thanks, friends. Talk to you soon.